Hello everyone and welcome back to the video. Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 best economy civilizations in Age of Empires 2. You always hear all the pros talking about how this guy's so ahead of me, the economy bonus is crazy. Well, in this video, I'm going to go ahead and explain what exactly we're talking about and what the best civs for that is. Before I get started though with the list, definitely be sure to mark the date, August 1st to 26th. I'm hosting a massive tournament, and I've got 2 videos that I hope my editor will put up on the screen. One is the trailer for the tournament that I'm hosting, and one is a 10-minute video explaining all the details so you guys could get up to date with that. Would love to see you down on my Twitch channel. August 1st, it kicks off strong. I'll be there covering the whole thing live, and I hope to see you guys there as well, combining my Twitch and my YouTube community for one very special event. I'm excited for it, and anyways, let's hop into the list. Starting things off strong for number 5, best economy civilizations. I really look at whether we're saving resources, getting free resources, or getting some sort of discount in economy development, not on some military attack or whatnot. And Burgundians, for me, definitely fit that description. Not only do we get discounts on all of our technologies, but we also can pick them up one age earlier. This is a really solid bonus and overall gives the Burgundians a fantastic economy. So for example, in Dark Age, we can pick up the double bit axe, giving our lumberjacks an extra 20% faster than our opponents, and that is a pretty significant bonus. Also, getting the upgrade cheaper means that you're always going to be saving resources and being ahead in collection rates over your opponent. That's basically 2 bonuses in one. Not only that though, but you get the same bonuses for handcart and wheelbarrow, which are very expensive technologies, and then we also can get Burgundian Vineyard, which is basically a unique tech that is an economy bonus and a late game gold bonus. So it's a very strong overall economy civilization, and I personally very much enjoy the Burgundians on those closed build-up maps like Arena. Next up, I've got another kind of arena civilization. It's gonna be the Bohemians. Now, the Bohemians might not come to mind when you think of economy civilizations because we consider them to be a very powerhouse, very gunpowder, gold-heavy civ. But the Bohemians actually have a great economy bonus to sustain that civilization identity. They get both upgrades from gold and stone for free. This is a really big bonus. They get the extra gold mine upgrades right off the bat as they hit the next age, and this allows you to get gold and stone way quicker than your opponents, and you save all the resources that your opponent would spend trying to pick up those upgrades himself. However, if it was just this bonus, it wouldn't be good enough because gold and stone, they run out. So this bonus doesn't really last forever. It's also very situational because you're not always going for a lot of gold and stone in the mid game. But the Bohemians also have another sneaky bonus, and it impacts your economy very heavily. It's the fact that they can get fervor from the monastery and have that affect villagers as well. So fervor makes the villagers move faster, which, if you guys don't know, makes the villagers gather faster, especially on farms because they're moving faster, so it's less walking time, and that means higher collection rate overall, but especially for those farmers. Moving on to number 3, we've got the Vietnamese. Now, the Vietnamese have always been pretty solid in terms of economy, but they recently just got a pretty big buff, and I think it's fantastic. So the recent buff they got makes it so their economy upgrades research 100% faster. That means twice as fast, so Vietnamese will be getting double bit axe, gold mining upgrade, twice as fast as your opponent, so you get a little bit of extra collection rates over your opponent. Not only that, but you also save on all wood costs for your economy upgrades, so you're getting double bit axe for only 100 food instead of 100 food and 50 wood. Now, you might be thinking that getting it twice as fast barely matters because what, you save like 10 seconds for the double bit axe. Yeah, it's true, it's a little bit more res, but it's no big deal. It actually is a big deal, but not for double bit axe. Big deal specifically for wheelbarrow and handcart. Those upgrades come from the town center, and we use the town center to make fills. So the longer we're taking to research wheelbarrow or handcart, the less fills we're able to make. As you guys know, fills are essential for gathering resources and expanding your economy, and so the more fills we have, the better off we'll be, the better our economy is. But the wheelbarrow and handcart are still crucial techs to pick up. So usually civs will sacrifice 3 villagers worth of time to pick up wheelbarrow, and then around 2 villagers worth of time to pick up handcart. For Vietnamese, since you get those twice as fast, you get wheelbarrow in the time it takes to make 1.5 villagers, and handcart in the time that it roughly takes to make 1 villager. And so if you put those 2 together, Vietnamese, just by playing the game, they are ahead of your opponent by 1.5 for wheelbarrow and 1 for handcart, so 2.5 villagers from 1 town center, and that is a pretty massive bonus. So this bonus, combined with the fact that in the same bonus, they're also saving the wood on these important upgrades, it just makes their economy insanely strong. Not only that though, but they also, for the cultured viewers, they also have paper money, which gives them a little bit of a trickle of gold in late game, especially on those maps with, a lot of wood like Black Forest and Arena. I personally don't like this tech, don't think it's too good, but it's definitely worth mentioning here. All right, moving on to number 2. I don't know if you guys can guess what number 2 and number 1 is, but number 2 is gonna be the Romans. I actually debated about this, and I'm not sure exactly where the Romans should be, but I put them at number 2, and I'm pretty confident with that. Their bonus just lets their villagers do everything basically 5% faster, except walking. But everything else a villager can do, they're doing it 5% faster, and that is a really significant bonus. The reason why this bonus is so good is because this lasts the entire game. On farms, on woodcutters, on builders, this literally does everything for the civilization at all points in the game. It's relevant, and that is such a big bonus for a civilization to have. And so it's hard to really judge how good that is, but I personally think it easily deserves number 2, and it might even deserve number 1. I just wasn't confident about it, so I put them at number 2, and you'll understand once I show you guys number 1, which I'm sure a lot of you guys can probably guess by now. But before, of course, I show you guys number 1, I've got some honorable mentions. Also, fair alert here, there's a lot of good economy civilizations, so if the civ that you think is really strong economically didn't make it on the list, feel free to yell at me in the comments below. I love reading all that hate in the comments about what civ I missed out and why I'm so bad at the game. I'm just kidding, there's actually no hates, but it's always good to victimize a little bit to get some sympathy from the viewers. Okay, totally joking about that as well. That took a turn to the dark. There's no hate on these top 5 videos, I promise. Unless there will be. You guys tell me. Anyways, honorable mention. I spent way too long on that already. First one I have on the list is the Britons. Now, the Britons are a very solid civilization because you get the cheaper town centers and you get the faster gathering on sheep. But I just felt like it wasn't that much savings. You usually make only like 2 extra town centers and then the sheep run out pretty quickly. So I figured honorable mention is fine, but they probably wouldn't make my list. Next up, we got the Burmese and the Celts. I'm going to group these together because they both get a significant wood enhancement. The Burmese get the free wood upgrades, which is great at saving resources. Those are essential as well, and by getting them free they kick in right away, which is always pretty nice. And for Celts, they gather wood 15% faster, and that lasts the whole game, which is really good, again, especially on those maps like Arena and Black Forest with a lot of wood. And then my last honorable mention is going to be the Franks. Getting the faster berry collection rate is nice, and then combining that with the free farm upgrades definitely makes for a very smooth economy and a solid pick for an economy civilization. I didn't include Mongols because although their hunt bonus is great, it falls off rather quickly and it doesn't really help them out later. So Mongols not on the list, and that's one of them that I think people will be maybe upset about, but I'm clearing that out right now. Alright, moving on to number 1, the civ that I think is the only candidate to be better than the Romans, that is the Vikings.
What?
Like I said, this might be obvious because the Vikings have been notorious for their economy, free wheelbarrow, and free handcart. If you remember about me talking about the Vietnamese getting these twice as fast, made it so they get extra villagers, well, this is twice as true for the Vikings. They get 5 free villagers, and your opponent still has to pay for wheelbarrow and handcart, whereas Vikings just get them from the start and don't have to waste that TC time to pick them up as well. So the free wheelbarrow and free handcart is an insane economy bonus. The only downsides to this bonus is that it runs out. Once your opponent gets wheelbarrow and handcart, then the bonus no longer comes into play. If you can't end the game by the time that really matters and it goes to late game, the bonus isn't actually helping you out anymore. So that is the one downside of the Viking bonus that I can see, but even with that in consideration, I still think that that advantage that you get from this bonus is more than enough to keep it at number 1 in my opinion. And of course, the only thing holding the Vikings back from being absolutely insane is the fact that they've got a really bad tech tree and just not the greatest options overall on most maps. On water they excel, of course, but on most land maps and stuff, they're just not doing too much. So the economy bonus kind of falls in the wrong hands a little bit, but I still think it's an insane bonus in and of itself. Alright, that's going to do it for my top 5 best economy civilizations. Let me know if you agreed or not. Bring the hate in the comments. I'm totally kidding about that. And yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Much love. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!